qui est disponible via sa plateforme. Sur notre plateforme, vous trouverez une variété d'offres d'emploi classées par secteur et profession. Des sections sont aussi disponibles pour des informations sur les carrières ainsi que sur les pays africains. Toutes les informations dont vous aurez besoin en fonction des descriptions et d'exigences du poste sont accessibles sur le site. Si vous recherchez un emploi dans l'enseignement supérieur sur le continent, visitez notre portail dédié www.africa.edujobs.com. Pour des mises à jour sur le marché de l'emploi, vous pouvez également nous suivre sur Twitter et Instagram à AvJobsBoard.
It's midday and you're welcome to the Midweek News on Aau TV live from our headquarters in Accra, Ghana. My name is Ajiman Otredako.
And I am Chimai Madaladem Duchi.
In our headlines for this week, Africa-Russia higher education plan echoes geopolitical tensions. In our health story, physical training and yoga benefits adult asthma patients' lung function.
In our discovery story for today, the UN's International Fund for Agriculture, youth hubs generating employment for youth in 9 African nations. And in our sports story, CAF to probe Samuel Eto'o for alleged misconduct as FECAFOOT president. Now stay tuned for more news after this short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. And in our news in detail, Africa and Russia are working towards a closer partnership in higher education and scientific research. Their collaboration aims to encompass joint projects in fields such as nuclear, space, and digital technologies, as well as artificial intelligence. The intention is also to establish stronger ties between Russia and African universities in promoting academic mobility and excellence.
Addressing the summit, Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, outlined several key areas of Russia's engagement with Africa. He noted the growing number of Africans studying in Russian universities, pointing out that this count is steadily increasing each year. Putin highlighted a substantial 150% increase in the allocation of African students funded by the federal budget over the last 3 years, with projections to exceed 4,700 individuals in the upcoming academic year. Additionally, he mentioned that approximately 10,000 Africans are presently undergoing medical training in Russia. Putin unveiled Russia's intention to establish satellite campuses of prominent Russian universities within Africa. This initiative was complemented by the Russian African Network University, designed to forge strong collaborations between Russian and African educational institutions. He also referenced the signing of an agreement to form a consortium of technical universities focused on jointly training professionals for the mineral resources sector. The president underscored Russia's commitment to aiding African countries in bolstering their educational systems, encompassing not only higher education but also primary and vocational schools. Collaborative efforts involve the creation of teaching materials that blend Russia and African curricula for joint educational institutions. Putin suggested the prospects of introducing schools in Africa where certain subjects are taught in the Russian language. Furthermore, Putin extended an invitation for African nations to participate in broader undertakings aimed at promoting the Russian language and culture. He highlighted an ongoing project spanning 28 countries aiming to establish open education centers to train teachers and educators across different educational levels, including preschool, primary schools, and secondary schools. To facilitate this, Russia plans to significantly increase the enrollment of African students in Russia pedagogical universities.
And also more than 600 students from Kumasi Technical University were unable to sit for their second semester exams due to failing to meet the registration deadline. These students, as of yesterday, were seeking assistance from the academic board of the university to grant them some free space or permission to take exams, even though the university had already given them the option to defer their exams.
A group of students at the Kumasi Technical University are currently in a situation where they are appealing to their university's academic board for the chance to write their exams, despite missing the registration deadlines. These students are requesting the opportunity to take their exams instead of choosing the deferral option offered by the university. Notices regarding this issue had been posted and shared by the institution with students approximately. The initial notice, dated May 29, 2023, declared an extension of the online course registration until June 5, 2023. Another notice was released on July 11, 2023, with the title Mop Up Online Course Registration. Following this, on July 27, 2023, another notice prolonged the course registration window until August 3, 2023, after the previous deadline of July 28, 2023. The most recent notice, dated August 11, 2023, advised students who had failed to meet the registration deadlines to defer their courses as per the academic board's directive. Joshua Appiah, the acting university relations officer, clarified that the students have not been expelled by the university. Rather, their courses have been postponed due to the circumstances. Adolfo Silas Denchira, the spokesperson for the affected students, acknowledged their error in missing the deadlines and cited economic challenges as the underlying reason. Denchira pleaded for leniency and expressed their strong desire to promptly sit for the exams. Kwejo Mensah, president of the Student Representatives Council (SRC), emphasized that ongoing discussions between student leadership and the academic board are aimed at finding a feasible solution. Mensah highlighted that despite receiving notifications from the university's administration, numerous students face obstacles stemming from financial difficulties, which led to delays in registration. The SRC is actively engaged in addressing these concerns and collaborating with the academic board to seek a resolution.
Just give me your view about the story and how you've been following this far.
Okay, so first of all, I would want to touch on some of the issues. Touch on some of the issues and then suggest some recommendations or something that I think the university could have done better that they didn't do. So first of all, one of the issues that came up was non-registration and deferment. So management of KSTU, which is the Kumasi Technical University, are faced with challenges, seeing that I think about 648 of their students were not able to register for their second semester examination, which is 2022-2023 academic year. And this led to their decision on making them defer their course. I feel like, I have my own issue with that.
Has responded according to its procedures.
Yes, I think now,
all these deadlines.
I respect the fact that the university, I think, gave deadlines from May to August.
Yes, that's
and I think they have actually done well. But the fact that a parent cannot pay fees, I don't think, I feel like there should be more. I think that more could be done. Yes. And another issue is the academic calendar of the university. I feel like the university, of course, set deadlines for students to be able to pay their fees, or for their parents to be able to pay their fees. But there should be some form of, it should be a bit I don't know how to put it, but they should be a bit lenient. Let me put it that way. Yes, and I'll also talk about, I think right now, the management of the school are out with a special examination, trying to...
that's a unfortunate thing that happened.
I mean, giving the student the opportunity to write a special examination.
Sure.
But I feel like if things were done better, you won't get to this point where you now have to find more time to now set new questions for the students to go ahead and write these special examinations. So I'll give some recommendations.
Don't you think that the university has to operate in its own standing orders?
Okay.
Because it has got a board, a council. And the council had sat over 3 months from May to August, as you just mentioned, and had given these students the opportunity and the notices to register.
That's true.
And then all these deadlines
were not met.
It's lenient for the university to do that, basically. Having known that you have to pay this to register your courses and be valid to write examinations.
But right now, no,
it will be so inappropriate that students look down, because from that point of view, it's like you disregarded these measures or these deadlines. On their point of view, they said we were making actions, we were trying economic situations. But who brought this information? Who bridged the gap? I think that somebody should have done something better.
First of all, I would say that Kumasi Technical University is not the first university to face such a problem. I mean, other universities have had these problems with students not being able to meet deadlines and registering and all that. But do we hear they say students should defer and all that? Right now, you said the students should defer, but right now you are back again saying that you have a special exams for those who have now been able to complete their payment. So what about those that are still there and haven't been able to complete payments? What will happen to them? I really want to give some suggestions. So let me give out some suggestions. First of all, I'll talk about communication enhancement. I don't know how communication went, from management to students, and how they were liaised through the SRC and then all that. But I feel like there should be some policies in their communication so that this issue of deferment or such issues do not come up again. Getting to this point. And there should be early intervention. Instead of solely relying on deadlines and deadline extension, I think the university could equally have some implementations, certain reminders to parents or certain reminders to students, and counseling, some financial aid programs that could help such students who are not able to finance their education. And lastly, I'll talk about some, flexible payment plan. Yes, seeing that right now we know that our economy is not that friendly, and we have found out that financial constraint might be one of the reasons why students are not able to pay their fees. I feel like there should be some plans, some scholarships, some grants to support these students. If there are such programs in the school, I think issues will not get to this extent where students are affected and management is now looking for ways to resolve these, and then the whole media brouhaha. Yes.
I agree with you. I think that this issue of deferment is not the first time we're hearing this. Some universities actually defer. You will defer. Or even the student goes that I want to defer because I can't pay.
You can't pay.
But you can see that the students were willing. In fact, they had a zeal to partake. That they said they were only limited by the funds. It's not a problem, but you have to respect the institution's timelines. I agree with that.
Yes.
The school has a timeline for examination order, and your delay or your inability to meet up to their standards doesn't change their plans in any way.
Of course.
So it means that you should defer. Maybe you're not ready.
But do you think now that they have brought out the instruction that they have to organize a special examination? I feel like that is, the time.
It happens often. It means that for you, for this current stream, they are ready. They will write. You will not write with them. You may be prepared later on for a special one.
Another special one.
That is what it works. That's how it works. Because it can be the same.
Okay.
It can be the same. Yeah. So health news is up next. Just stay with us.
Okay. So according to a recent peer review study, Incorporating yoga and breathing control practices alongside aerobic training is particularly beneficial for individuals with asthma who aim to enhance their lung function. And this combination of exercises has been identified as crucial for those seeking to improve their respiratory health.
New research featured in the Annals of Medicine journal today underscores the vital role of integrating appropriate exercise regimens into asthma management plans. The study's findings underscore how targeted exercise training can notably enhance lung function in adults with asthma, according to Shangtao Zheng, the study's lead author and an associate professor at China's Henan Normal University School of Physical Education. Zheng highlights the benefits of combining breathing, aerobic, and yoga training as potential avenues for effective treatment strategies. Zheng emphasizes the necessity for larger and well-structured randomized controlled trials to provide a more accurate assessment of exercise training's advantages for individuals dealing with asthma. Asthma, a chronic respiratory condition affecting around 339 million globally, is characterized by symptoms like coughing, wheezing, chest tightness, and shortness of breath. Although exercise was previously considered risky for asthma sufferers, recent research reveals that exercise training can improve respiratory function and exercise capacity in adults with asthma. However, the diversity in exercise interventions within existing randomized controlled trials has made it challenging to compare the effectiveness of different rehabilitation programs. To address this, the current study employs a network meta-analysis allowing simultaneous comparison of multiple treatment outcomes in one analysis to evaluate various exercise training effects on lung function among adult asthma patients. The analysis encompassed 28 RCTs involving 2,155 asthma patients, examining the effect of breathing training, aerobic training, relaxation training, yoga training, and the combination of breathing with aerobic training on lung function. All 5 exercises interventions exhibited superior efficacy in improving lung function measurements compared to the conventional rehabilitation control program. Specific findings include breathing training, aerobic training, relaxation training, yoga training, and breathing combined with aerobic training led to enhancements in forced expiratory volume in the first second levels and peak expiratory flow. Aerobic training, breathing training, yoga training, and breathing combined with aerobic training improved forced vital capacity levels. Breathing training, aerobic training, and yoga training improved forced expiratory volume in the first second and also forced vital capacity levels ratio. Additionally, a statistical technique was applied to rank the effect of different exercise treatments. Notably, relaxation training exhibited the most substantial effect in enhancing forced expiratory volume in the first second levels, whilst breathing combined with aerobic exercises had a marked impact on improving the forced vital capacity levels, and yoga training demonstrated significant improvements in the peak expiratory flow levels.
Stick with us for Discovery News after this short break.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor, or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning, and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU Elearn Africa LMS.
Welcome back from the break and in our discovery. On International Youth Day, a report from the International Labour Organization, ILO, emphasizes that a shift towards the green economy has the potential to generate 8.4 million jobs for young individuals by the year 2030. And these jobs, often referred to as green jobs, are defined as roles that contribute to the preservation or restoration of the environment.
The UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, is already implementing this concept by supporting youth hubs in 9 African countries. These hubs aim to provide young people with the skills required to transition into sustainable jobs. An example can be seen in Nigeria, whereby young women are engaged in cultivating vegetables within specialized structures, yielding not only employment but a steady income in areas with limited job prospects. Due to a high youth unemployment rate of 13% in Nigeria, many young individuals migrate to urban areas in search of work, particularly in regions with poor rural job prospects. Initiatives like the Green Technology Focus Project in Abeokuta aim to generate sustainable employment opportunities in rural settings. IFAD collaborates with local governments to fund these youth hubs where practical training and connections to private enterprises are established. The youth hubs acknowledge that skill training alone cannot bridge the employment gap. By linking young individuals with private companies, offering access to essential resources, and providing education in complex fields such as commodity value chains and post-harvest management, these initiatives create an environment conducive to rural youth employment. Operating across 9 African nations, including Nigeria, Algeria, and Cameroon, these hubs address the critical issue of rural youth unemployment. Rahul Antao, IFAD's specialist in youth, emphasized that these hubs aim to address the gap between youth skills and the demands of labor markets. Beyond mere training, these initiatives aim to empower youth entrepreneurs to launch new ventures or expand existing ones. These hubs have already trained and employed more than 9,000 rural youth across over 2,255 enterprises in Africa. To cater to the burgeoning demand for green economic opportunities, the hubs strategically invest in training related to digitization, eco-friendly skills, and renewable energy.
We will be back with news on sports and entertainment. Stay tuned.
You're welcome to the Sports and Entertainment segment. My name is Mamiukwa Utakwanyame, and in our sports news, stakeholders within the Cameroonian football have formally lodged a complaint with the Confederation of African Football regarding the behavior of Samuel Eto'o, the president of the Cameroonian Football Federation.
The Confederation of African Football, CAF, has received a formal request to probe the actions of former Barcelona star Samuel Eto'o, who is currently the president of the Cameroonian Football Federation. Eto'o's tenure as head of the federation has been marked by controversies leading to calls for his resignation from some members of the association. In response to these requests, CAF has issued a statement affirming its commitment to investigate the alleged misconduct attributed to Samuel Eto'o. The Confederation's decision is in accordance with the CAF's status and regulations. While the allegations are deemed serious, CAF acknowledges that Samuel Eto'o is to be considered innocent unless determined otherwise by legal authority. The statement emphasizes that CAF will maintain confidentiality during the ongoing investigations and will provide public updates only when the proceedings reach a conclusion. The Confederation's stance reflects adherence to fair and due process in assessing the allegations against Samuel Eto'o.
Now in our international entertainment news, the film Soy Cuba is being screened at a cinema in Havana. Released in 1964, the movie delves into the nation's history, depicting the challenges and the renowned revolution. Cuba's deep fascination with cinema is evident. This passion is reflected in the eye of catching posters created to advertise the film. These posters are unique, tailored for Cuba and its people, showcasing a strong connection to the silver screen.
In Havana, Cuba, the film Soy Cuba from 1964 is being showcased in a cinema. The movie delves into the nation's history, covering its challenges and the renowned revolution. Cuba's strong affinity for cinema is evident in the vibrant posters created to promote films designed specifically for the Cuban audience. These posters have become so popular that they adorn various places, from private homes to state-run establishments. These cinematic artworks are preserved at the Cuban Cinemateca, cared for by curator and custodian Sarah Vega. Recently, this collection gained international recognition as it was included in UNESCO's Memory of the World list. The collection features over 3,000 posters spanning 6 decades, encompassing films from various countries and genres. Cuba's cinematic poster culture was born in 1959 with the establishment of the Cuban Institute of Cinematographic Arts and Industry, ICAIC. The aim was to provide a platform for local graphic artists in the market dominated by American films. Instead of conventional promotional posters featuring movie stars, Cuban artists embraced their own interpretations of the film, resulting in a unique and captivating visual language. Renowned artists like Eduardo Munoz Bash, Ernesto Ferran, and René Ascoy are celebrated for their contributions to this genre. The posters, though limited by their size and paint availability, have maintained their ingenuity and artistic quality. They did not only serve as promotional tools, but became a part of daily life, adorning homes and workplaces. Nelsie Ponce, a designer from the new generation, highlights the UNESCO recognition as a well-deserved honor for graphic design and its creators. He believes these posters hold values that can be adapted to modern media, inspiring new generations in the film. UNESCO's Memory of the World program is dedicated to safeguarding, accessing, and preserving humanity's documentary heritage.
That is all for sports and entertainment. My name is Mamiuku Tuakwanyame. Up next is business news.
For a job in higher education institution on the African continent, there is no need to go looking. The Africa Education Jobs Board will deliver available jobs to you via our platform. To start your search, visit our website. On our website, you will find variety of job postings classified by the sectors and professions they belong to. There are sections devoted to variety of career-related materials, as well as information on African countries. All information you require based on the job description and requirements are accessible on the site. If you are looking for a job in higher education on the continent, use our dedicated portal www.africa.edujobs.com. For job market updates, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AF Jobs Board.
In our business segment, the recent decision of a coalition of West African countries to close their borders with Niger as a form of sanction against the perpetrators of a coup is negatively impacting businesses in the northern Nigeria. This region has benefited from a thriving cross-border economy with Niger for an extended period.
the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, implemented sanctions such as financial restrictions and border closures to pressure coup plotters into restoring Niger's President Mohamed Bazoum, who was ousted by soldiers in his presidential guard. However, the consequences of these sanctions are being felt on the Nigerian side of the border. Niger constitutes 75% of the total value of Nigeria's cross-border informal trade, according to the Central Bank of Nigeria. A study from 2016 estimated the annual trade value between the two countries at 828 billion naira, the equivalent of $934 million. The border closure and restricted traffic have left numerous trucks stranded in Nigeria's Katsina state, loaded with perishable goods and food items. This has led to price increases in commodities usually supplied from Niger's Maradi city. While Nigeria's authorities are enforcing the border restrictions, the measure's impact has extended to traffic in nearby regions and border towns within Nigeria. Stranded truck drivers have expressed concerns about the potential spoilage of goods like cassava flour, popularly known as gari, due to the delay caused by the border closure. ECOWAS's sanctions have not succeeded in compelling the neighboring coup plotters to reinstate President Bazoum. The coup leaders have appointed General Abdurrahman Chiani as head of state and have resisted proposed visits from representatives of ECOWAS, the African Union, and the United Nations. The recent history of coups in West Africa has created a challenging situation for ECOWAS and its current chair, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu. Local residents in the border region have noted how the border closure has allowed some business owners to raise prices for various goods. The increased prices of essentials like corn have created economic hardships, and the closure has also strained the historic social connections between communities on both sides of the border. The situation highlights the complex economic and social repercussions of sanctions and border closures impacting both trade and daily lives of people in the region.
Welcome to our international news segment. And on Monday, August 14th, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi convened a meeting with King Abdullah II of Jordan and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. The gathering took place in the northern coastal city of El Alamein. The discussions were confirmed by Ahmed Fahmy, the spokesperson of the Egyptian president, basically on how to enhance two-state solutions and Palestinian development.
During a tripartite meeting, leaders engaged in discussions centered on the development of Palestinian cause. They conveyed their endorsement for a two-state solution to address the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, with East Jerusalem being designated as a future Palestinian capital. Although the official statement didn't address the potential Israel-Saudi normalization, insiders revealed that it was a crucial topic during the summit. The meeting was convened to deliberate on U.S. initiatives aimed at fostering normalized relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. Simultaneously, it aimed to address the Palestinian Authority's prerequisites for such an agreement. Egypt, a pioneer in normalizing ties with Israel in 1979, and Jordan, which followed in 1994, were part of the summit. These nations are crucial allies of Saudi Arabia. In the past, other Arab countries, including the United Arab Emirates and Morocco, recognized Israel in subsequent decades through the Abraham Accords, a series of U.S.-mediated agreements. Speculation regarding Saudi Arabia's potential normalization with Israel has been rife in the media, although no concrete deal has emerged. On a recent note, Riyadh named a non-resident ambassador for the Palestinian territories, who will also serve as a consul general in Jerusalem, a step that signifies Saudi Arabia's engagement in the Palestinian issue. The Palestinian territories portfolio was typically handled by the Saudi embassy in Amman. While Israel hasn't officially commented on the rumored normalization drive, the country's foreign minister, Eli Cohen, has indicated that peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia could be an eventual reality.
Thank you for staying with us on the Aau Tv Mid-Week News. Let's take a quick recap of our headlines.
Now, higher education plan echoes geopolitical tensions. And our second health story, physical training and yoga benefits adult asthma patients' lung function.
In our discovery story, youth hubs generating employment for youth in 9 African countries. And in our sports, CAF to probe Samuel Eto'o for alleged misconduct as Fecafoot president.
Thank you for sticking with us on the Mid-Week News on Aau TV. Get interactive on our social media platforms, Association of African Universities, and let's link you for more information.
My name is Jemima Deladem Duche.
My name is Ajaman Ochodako. To enjoy your week.